You can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Rafael Estevam takes on Jesus Aguilar on the preliminary card of UFC Fight Night Rodrigues versus Cannonier, which takes place this Saturday at the Apex in Las Vegas. And this is going to be a wild back and forth fight between these two flyweights. Both these guys like to push a high pace, can be in pretty chaotic fights. Jesus Aguilar, the dude's 5'4". He's just kind of like a Tasmanian devil, goes out there, pushes the pace, throws hands, looks to take the fight wherever it goes. Very fun, entertaining guy. He's 11-2, 28 years old. Only loss is to Tatsuro Taira, and the first guy that he fought as a pro back almost 9 years ago. Yeah, over 9 years ago. So a lot of experience, a lot of wins. Very good fighter in the UFC. 28 years old. Like I said, 5'4", 62.5 reach. So been fighting for a long time, since he was about 19 years old. Very aggressive, pushes the pace. Does leave him open for takedowns though. Great leg kicks, good scrambles. Just doesn't have the best takedown defense. We've seen in his most recent fights. Like I said, Tatsuro Taira took him down immediately and subbed him. Shannon Ross, he had a crazy walk-off knockout against Shannon Ross, but again, that's Shannon Ross. Sorry, I don't really rate that win very highly, but shows that he's got power. Knocked the dude out in 17 seconds. Mateusz Mendonca, who's taken down within like 1 minute by Mendonca. Ended up winning that fight by a split decision. I would argue that he didn't win that fight just because he was kind of getting beat in the grappling exchanges in that fight. I don't think that he should have won that one. Stuart Nickel, again, taken down off the bat. I think Stuart Nickel had like a Kimura lock with his back taken, ended up getting him to the ground. But then Jesus Aguilar ended up getting a guillotine choke on him. So that's very high level to get a guillotine choke over somebody like Stuart Nickel, who's a very good grappler. So he's going to need that in this fight against Rafael Estevam, who 12-0, undefeated guy, obviously, 5'8", 69-inch reach. So he's going to have a 6.5-inch reach advantage and a 4-inch height advantage. I don't really rate that because Estevam isn't much of a striker. At least I haven't seen it. He's looking to spam takedowns so that he gets you to the ground to where he can work his top game and get submissions. So trains out of Nova União, very high level gym out of Brazil. We've seen a lot of top level fighters come out of that gym. It's very good takedowns, great throws. We saw that against Charles Johnson. You're beating Charles Johnson, you're elite. Charles Johnson's very good, very experienced. So very good win for that one. He did miss weight, but I think he took it on short notice too, so it is what it is. But just great control in round one, taking his back immediately, just really getting the takedowns and winning the fight. Lost the third round just because he couldn't get takedowns. I think he gassed, which is a concern of mine, that he pushes such a high pace, spamming takedowns. Can he continue that throughout 3 rounds? Because if he starts to gas halfway through the second, I feel like Aguilar would take his head off or catch him in a sub when he starts making mistakes. Like I said, haven't really seen him striking, so I'm concerned once he comes across somebody who can defend the takedowns. I don't think that is Jesus Aguilar, which is why I'm going to pick Estevam, but I do worry about who Rafael Estevam is when he starts shooting takedowns round one, doesn't get any of them, and starts gassing. What does he do then? Because I don't think he's got the striking. I think that if he did, he would at least showcase it a little bit before he just started immediately shooting for single legs. So I'm going to go with Rafael Estevam just because Aguilar's only like a purple belt, but again, he's got okay submissions. Like I said, he subbed, what was his name, Stuart Nickel, but he's got a bunch of guillotine chokes, honestly. But in terms of jiu-jitsu on paper, I think Estevam's way ahead of him. His only career losses are by submission, though, triangle armbar and rear naked choke. Like I said, I am concerned about him outlasting Estevam. If he can, stay alive on the ground and not get choked out, can he, take Estevam into the deep waters and beat him there? Because Aguilar does have good cardio. He does carry power, and he's just an absolute dog. So I could see him out-gritting somebody like Estevam who could crumble if he's not getting it, if his takedown game isn't working. So, but in this case, I got to go with the guy, Rafael Estevam, in in a weight class where the guys are flying around and usually have really good cardio, I got to go with the guy who's going to be shooting takedowns the entire night, looking for the finish on the ground, against the guy who only loses by getting subbed. So I'm going to go with Estevam on this one. Low confidence pick. Odds are minus 330 for Estevam, because I think they understand how poor Aguilar's takedown defense is. But again, he's 28 years old, not even in his prime yet. It's definitely something that he can improve on as he gets, further along in his career. And again, he's 5'4", so I mean, that's a hard dude to get under and get to the ground by Estevam, who's 5'8". So Estevam, also 28 years old, tons of momentum on his side as well. Fought a lot of really good guys like Charles Johnson, João Elias. This guy he fought in the Contender Series is an absolute stud on the ground. He kind of just outlasted that guy. He gassed and ended up TKOing him on the ground, but that dude's elite, and the fact that he was able to handle him on the ground, stay out of danger, and eventually finish him by ground and pound says a lot. But 7-0, 7-1, 9-5, 5-0, 6-1. He's not fighting slouches on the regional scene that we're used to seeing some of these guys who come into the UFC with 12-0 records. So I'm gonna go with Estevam. I think he gets the sub in this one. I think that he keeps pushing the pace, getting the takedowns against Aguilar, eventually finds a hole in his game and gets the sub. So I'm going to go with Estevam by submission round 2 against Jesus Aguilar. Let me know what you guys think. Don't think Aguilar is a bad dog, though. I think he's really good, but I just don't think he gets this one done. So appreciate you guys watching. Thanks.